Once again, good morning to us all who have already made it to this call. And I've heard from Lisa. Esther, I've seen you have joined. You're most welcome. Just extend the word to us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, this is fine.
That's great.
It's my son now joining for senior one.
Oh.
Yes, and maybe introduces himself.
That's really great. His name?
Name is Stewart.
Stephen?
Stewart. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Stewart, you're most welcome to this lesson.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. Lisa, can you say hi to us? After you have given us, Stewart, can you mute your microphone? Okay, thank you. Lisa, I would love to hear from you before we go into our lesson today. Once again.
Yes, teacher.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you? Okay. Yes. Again, to us all, I'm really glad to be with you on this call. And let me share my screen to go into the lessons for today. Previously, we had a lesson, and that was on Wednesday. We basically went through the disciplines in art. And today, I'm just going to take us through the key areas in art. So I think you can see what is on your screen right now. Basically, this is welcome again to Yaka Digital Network online live classes we offer to you, and we are here for you. This is Senior One, Art and Design, and my name is Mohindo Joshua. Just call me Josh, okay? And I'm really glad to be with you. So, as I said previously, we were looking through the disciplines of art, but this time around, we are going to look through the elements and principles of art, because every discipline we explained last time is formed, or it is achieved when we have these principles and elements of art. This is great knowledge for us, and they are the foundation. They are the basics. If you call yourself an artist, if you're studying art and you don't have this with you, you may not be doing art. Okay? You may do art, but the fact that you don't know the concepts, these concepts, you will end up doing art that is of low standard. I would love Lisa or Stewart to read for us what is on the screen. The first bullet. Lisa, can you read for us?
They are the foundation of the language within art. They are the building blocks or foundations upon which all of them all the time, but you use some of them most of the time.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Lisa. And as the bullets itself bring it out, that they are the foundation when you're going to build a house, you need to lay a foundation, okay? And that is the language you use in art. So there are some keywords I'll be speaking out that you may not use commonly in your normal speech, but with this time round, they're going to be common because that is the language of art. These elements and principles are the languages of art. I will explain them as we see them slowly by slowly. And again, it brings us here that says that they are building blocks. Talked about foundation. They are building blocks. In other words, they are the things, these elements and principles, they are the things you need to build up an artwork upon which a work of art is created. You may not use all of them all at once, but somehow, at least you may use 2 to 3, 4, 5, depending on the art you're creating. And since we are beginners in this art lesson, in this subject, we may not go into using all of them at once. We shall use small ones. We shall use 2 to 3. And as we go ahead, as we shall be together in this, we are going to use more and more of them until we finish them all. But what you should put in mind is that the language is very key. This is the language of art. If I'm to mark your work, I will consider these elements and principles. If I'm to judge your work, I will be speaking about how you have utilized these elements and principles. If I'm to appreciate, I will say, wow, this lady or this man achieved these following elements. So let us keep together and we shall all be blessed. The elements of art and the principles of art, the foundation, the language. So the next slide. Stuart, if you are with us, I would love you to read for us what you are seeing on the slide, on this slide.
Yes. I'm saying the elements of art. Space, color, value, texture, line, shape, and form.
Exactly. Wow, thank you so much. The elements of arts are the visual tools that the artist uses to create a composition. In other words, the fact that we are studying them, that means we are being introduced to being artists, okay? So when I use the word artist, just know is that one who is in this call and is ready to learn anything about art. The fact that you are studying art is because you are introduced to art. And the elements of art, as you have said, that we have line, that is the first one. That is the first one. We have shape, we have form, we have space, we have color, we have value, we have texture. I don't know if anyone has a clue on these words. Do any of us have a clue on these words? If I extend in my contribution, whatever clue you have, what do you think is all about these ones? Since we say they are the foundation. There is someone who is on this call in the names of Miracle Chitiwa. Can you tell us something about what you're seeing or any clue you have about them? Okay, Lisa, do you have something to say about these ones? Do you know about them?
I think shape, whatever
Okay.
word you're drawing, its shape matters.
Pardon?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you,
I
but
said
Just continue.
I said shape. Whatever you're drawing, like
Mm-hmm.
a word or its shape matters.
Its shape matters. Okay. Thank you so much. I like what you've said is that you use the term whatever you are drawing. Whatever you are drawing. In other words, you cannot draw something without using something here. So for you you have brought out the word shape. So whatever you're drawing, its shape matters. In case you have a cup before you there around you, because for me I was taking tea and I just finished it, so I still have my cup here with some small coffee in it. But if I look at it, I just see that whatever I'm drawing, its shape matters. And how do I achieve shape is by considering the lines. That is the first element. So thank you so much, Lisa. I don't know, Stuart, do you have something to say about this? Any what you have in mind about these elements?
Yeah, I think space is like what you use, like the space you use for what you are going to draw. Or, yeah, that's it.
Wow, exactly. That is true. And thank you so much. Yes, space is very key. For you to be in a place, you need space. Okay. Before even you draw something, the area where you're going to draw it is space. So space is very key in art. When you are in school or you have your drawing book, you cannot get space that is occupied with some other drawing. You will look for space that has no a drawing, and that's what you will use. So space is very key. For you to draw something, you need space. Yes, thank you so much. And basically today I'm not going into deep in them, but I just want us to have them in mind that line is a mark made by a sharp moving object. But before we create any line anywhere, we need space. And space is an area where an artist executes himself from. For example, Stuart, you have told us that the area, is something you need, is somewhere you need to do an artwork, and that is true. So after you have a space, you can create your line on space. After you have your line, through line you create shape, and through shape you create form. As you can see on your screen that the word shape is just a two-dimensional, but if you sit down form, we can see that it has body, it has width, it has height and length. You see, so that form is the roundness of an object. Shape is an enclosed line. When you join the beginning point of your line to the end point of your line to the beginning point again, you create shape. So color is also very key. Value is the gradual transitioning from light to dark, and texture is the feel, the smoothness or the roughness of an object. I think we are together about this. Still, Miracle Chitiwa, we would love to hear from you in this next slide, okay? So when we just unmute yourself and you are going to read for us what you will be seeing on your screen. Thank you. So, Miracle Chitiwa, are you there? Okay. She's on the call, but her microphone is muted, and good enough you're there, and let me hope you are getting something. By the end of this lesson, we shall be somewhere with you. Then the next slide here, as you can see on your screen, is that the principles of art. The principles of art. The principles of art basically, they represent how the artist used the elements of art to create an effect and to help convey the artist's interest. Are we together? They represent how the artist uses the elements of art to create an effect and to help convey the artist's intention. So here you see that for you to utilize the principles, you have to consider the elements. And in the next slide, we shall see how they relate to each other. So first of all, let us get to know the elements, the principles themselves. They are 11 in number, and it is good for us to know them. So I want Stuart to read for us the first side of these elements, and Lisa will be also reading for us the second side of these elements, of these principles. Stuart?
Yeah, the first one is emphasis, contrast, movement, rhythm, repetition, and pattern.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Do you have a clue on this?
I think like pattern. I think
Yes.
it's how the drawing is supposed to go. How the drawing is supposed to like flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And let's hear from Lisa, then we shall go on.
Pardon?
Yeah, I want you to read us the second side of this slide.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We have variety, preparation, transition, balance, and unity.
Exactly. Do you have any clue on these words?
Unity, I think, is like make your work look smart or something.
Which one? Pardon us,
Unity.
please. Unity. Yes.
I said unity is like to make your work organized or look smart.
Okay. Exactly. Thank you so much. And yeah, basically, thank you for your contribution to this. And emphasis, contrast, movement, rhythm, repetition, pattern, variety, proportion, transition, stop, gradation, balance, and unity. They are very key. And when we see how you have utilized your lines as an element of art, we are going to ask you, how did this person come up with unity? How did this person come up with contrast? How did this person come up with pattern? Pattern basically is the continuity, okay, of a repeated, if of a repeated element. Repetition is slightly close to pattern, but repetition is the overusing one element. As you can see in this image, the slide, we have some lines that are running from one side to another. They are repeated, and that creates some form of repetition, rhythm, and movement. Again, it also creates some form of contrast because black and blue, they are contrasting each other. And you can see these words are in white and the background is blue, and that brings contrast that I can easily read the words in white and the words in yellow, and also easily see the background on its own. That is contrasting. A variety, okay? Proportionality is basically how different objects relate to each other in a composition. The transition or gradation takes us back to balance, and below us here you can see that there is some transitioning in black to blue, close to that word repetition and pattern. That transitioning, it is very key. Then balance is how you have balanced up your elements of art in a work of in your work. For example, here some of them are placed this side and others are placed on the other side. We have tried to balance them. We would have created all of them on one side, but I just said, no, let me create them on different sides. And this may not really explain what I want to say, but as we go ahead with these slides, you're going to see some concepts that I'm trying to explain here, and be ready to give me your input on the works that are ahead. Let's just go into the next slide. So we looked on the elements of art, and today I just want to elaborate more on these three, okay? Because they are the basics, they are the starting points. Besides space, after you have space, we need these three to create any work of art. If you're going to draw anything, you should understand these three. So basically, line is created by a mark made by a sharp moving object. When a sharp object is in motion, we create line. If you point a pencil on a paper and you drag, that is a line. A sharp point that is in motion, it creates a line. So, and we have different types of line, okay, of which all of them are important. On this slide, I just created few of them. And I would love to hear from us what you see and what you think you have ever used in terms of lines. Yes. Someone to tell us something about lines, the lines they have used and what they are seeing there. Stuart, say something.
I think I use any of these lines, like big, spiral, parallel, and thin. What like I sometimes draw, and while drawing like something, you have to use this thin line, and somewhere you have to use a big line.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need them.
Lisa, has the class ended or the teacher dropped off?
I can't see anything on the screen.
Has the teacher completed or the teacher dropped off?
Don't know. We ain't sure. I think we should wait.
Miracle, tell me.
Maybe he has dropped off.
Okay, let's give him some time to reconnect.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, I think we are going to end this class. The teacher is
Yes.
not joining. I don't know why. We can end it for now, right? So let's end it and we shall wait for another class. He can communicate when to handle us and then we arrange.